We have some teasers for the Worldwide Celebration 2022 for Dokkan Battle, and it looks like part 2 is just going to be strictly all Metal Cooler movie stuff. As you can see here, we got EZAs for the AGL Metal Cooler, the STR Piccolo from that movie, as well as the Tech Vegeta. Here are the stats. We do have the details for the EZAs and some free-to-play news as well, so make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on so you don't miss out on the daily Dokkan Battle content. So right off the bat, Metal Cooler stats are very good. Like, the defense is amazing. And we'll look into the details now, starting off with Metal Cooler. So one thing that they didn't change was, I guess, the percentage for the Wicked Bloodlines. It's still 170%. Instead of like increasing it to 180%, which I find very weird. They should have done that. I think there's no issue in that at all, but I guess we have to deal with that. I don't think they're gonna change it, even with any backlash or anything like that. It's not the biggest deal ever, but I would have liked to seen it. Passive skill 2 key and attack and defense was 150%. Gain an additional attack and defense plus 20% with each attack received, up to 100%. So that's good in itself. Gain additional key plus 1 and chance to perform a critical hit plus 20% when there's a superclass enemy. Gain additional key plus 1 and chance to perform a critical hit plus 20% when there is a pure Saiyans category enemy. So if you get both of them, that's a 40% crit rate and an extra 2 key, which is awesome. Although the problem is that all the hardest content are extreme units that are barely pure Saiyans, or only, you know, enemies like Broly, which is a pure Saiyan. Anyway, he gets recovery of 10% HP at the end of the turn in which the attack was received, and then he has that giant form as well. I don't think the giant form RNG has changed at all, or the restrictions, so there's obviously nothing to go off about that right now, because this was only posted on Twitter, and they usually don't like show you that information. But the super attack mechanic for the Cooler's raise attack for 1 turn causes immense damage to the enemy and lowers the attack and defense. And then the Metal Cooler core, I don't think has changed at all. I don't remember. I don't remember the last time I used a Metal Cooler. So let's go into the next unit, which is the Vegeta here. So Vegeta, all the information we have is the passive and the SA mechanic. That's pretty much the most important part about him anyway. Attack and defense plus 200% and 20% chance to perform a critical hits, regardless. And then gain an additional attack and defense plus 50% and chance to perform a critical hit plus 20% if there's another movie heroes category ally attacking the same turn. So that's perfectly fine, very easy. Gain key plus 2 and attack and defense plus 50% and a chance to perform a critical hit plus 30% if HP is 80% or below. And then 2 key and attack plus 50% and a chance to perform a critical hit plus 30% when HP is 50% or below. So does that mean if we're under 50% HP, we get like guaranteed critical essentially? If you're versing movie heroes, is guaranteed critical, which is kind of cool. But the age restriction is kind of annoying to deal with, although it doesn't change the defense other than the 80%. So as long as you're 80%, he should be pretty good. With the greatly raised defense mechanic, very nice for a second or third slot, and of course high chance to stun the enemy. Next up, we have the Piccolo here. This Piccolo is an AoE unit, and he has 200% attack and defense, randomly change a type of key sphere from other than STR to STR, gain an additional attack and defense for 20% per key sphere obtained. He's an AoE nuker, which is very interesting. I don't think there has been one since, so this is pretty cool. Maybe that could help you out in like ESBR or Super Battle Road if you can figure out a team for that. 2 key and attack defense to 50% and 20% chance to perform a critical hit when facing one enemy. Gain 6 key and perform a critical hit once only when fighting 2 or more enemies. So this would be really good for the World Tournament. And of course, like, again, nuking, you get that guaranteed critical. You can almost, I'd assume, like, one-shot most of the movie heroes ESB. I'm not too sure. But SA's raised defense for 1 turn causes supreme damage to the enemy and medium chance to stun. So those are the, I guess, summonable units that are going to EZA. We don't know if there's going to be another EZA LR, just like part 1, but hopefully there is. They haven't announced anything as of yet. Now let's move on to the event stuff. So as expected, the red zone is going to get an extra 2 stages. From the image here, you can see King Cold and Metal Cooler. That's changed. The Frieza, I don't think changed at all. So I would assume that it would be King Cold, to Mecha Freezer. That's my guess. Unless they want to do like a strictly like one, you know, boss fight or one phase enemy like they did with the first stage of the GT bosses one. But it's very unlikely, especially for stage 3. And then stage 4, I'd assume, is Metal Cooler Army. So 5 Metal Coolers, all of different typing. And then the final, oh, they could actually do 3. Then you could do Metal Cooler himself and then the core. Or they would just do Metal Cooler. Again, we don't know the information of that. We just got a little teaser of what's to come. And, of course, to complete the support memory. Then we are also getting some extra free-to-play stuff. So I assume we're still getting, like, the Easy A for Gohan and the Tech Metal Cooler. But we're also getting some more free-to-play stuff. The Metal Cooler free-to-play cards are going to awaken. It's not confirmed that they are Easy A, but there's, like, a 90% chance that they will. Because they don't really... I don't see them returning to the Metal Cooler arc for a long time. So getting these guys to their peak as soon as possible is pretty nice. And their arts are looking real good and different. They're not the same copy and paste. The STR Metal Cooler, that's the support, is also going to awaken. So that's really nice. He's a great support, and he'll probably be like, depending on how they build him, I'd assume everybody will have like a standard attack and defense boost, say like 100% or something, pre-Easy A, and then their unique abilities, because I remember this cooler supports, this cooler is a key supporter, this cooler is a lowering attack and defense user, this cooler is a healer. I just assume they like buff that up with like a flat 100% attack and defense. I don't think they're going to get too creative with it, where like you versus Pure Saiyan's enemy, you get this kind of buff and they get additional super attacks or whatever. I think they're just going to keep it very simple and clean. This cooler was an attack and defense support, although very minor, and this cooler was a damage dealt, heal back a percentage amount. So this cooler I always felt like was, you know, the most helpful one, and I think this cooler will... So I'm looking forward to see how this cooler performs, because, you know, more damage means more heal back. Could be a, you know, guarantee spot in like a movie boss's team, which I haven't done a free-to-play video yet. I'm just waiting for the celebration to simmer down so I can actually make that team. And then also in this event image, the Goku and Vegeta art is brand new. I'd assume this is going to be the Dokkan Fest LR, because they've already done like the extreme part of it, so that it's super time. And maybe this cooler will be the carnival, which would be pretty cool. They look really nice, I will say. The event here is literally the updated version of this, so they're all going to be in the one event. It's not like the updated of the OG Metal Cooler event, but you'll be needing these specific metals to awaken the Metal Cooler from this specific story event, and make sure you farm these Metal Coolers from the other event, because they're doing this confusing ass thing where they're not updating the old events like they did with the Tech Cooler. I get a lot of comments of like, where do you farm that Tech Cooler? It's from a completely different event. So just remember, the Fight 10 Billion Warriors is where you actually farm the cooler, the Metal Coolers, and then this is where you get the Awakening Metals from. This is where the Strongest Rivals, where you get that Tech Cooler. That's a Terrifying Conqueror support for those that haven't figured it out, you know, for the last 2 weeks or whatever. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you think about these Easy A's. I think Metal Cooler is actually pretty decent. But we'll have to see the numbers, because I don't know the calculations for sure. I think the Piccolo can be used in interesting spots, and maybe like a permanent World Tournament kind of user as well. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, stay fishy. Peace out.